A Russian FPV drone operator encountered 3 Ukrainian soldiers hiding behind trees. Everyone was waiting for each other to make a move. Finally, the drone took action. Footage of the attack carried out by Russian 247th Parachute Regiment soldiers on Stepnohirsk in the Zaporizhzhia region. Russian soldiers are throwing backpacks filled with anti-tank weapons at buildings where Ukrainian forces are hiding, and positions are being destroyed by powerful explosions. The basement floors were destroyed one by one. At the same time, Russian FPV drones entered areas inaccessible to infantry, destroying positions inside the building.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
A convoy of Russian soldiers enters Krasnoarmeysk-Pokrovsk under a blanket of fog. As seen in the video, Russians can now move much more freely and safely in this region. Northwest of Krasnoarmeysk, Vanya Ivanov's FPV team is disrupting the logistics of the Ukrainian armed forces. During nighttime attacks, pickup trucks and armored vehicles were wiped off the map. At the end of the video, Ukrainian soldiers again abandoned the armored vehicle, leaving the door open as they departed. This allowed the drone to easily enter and destroy the vehicle. Why do you think they left it open and left? The Russian armed forces are systematically destroying Ukrainian armed forces' strongholds in the settlement of Dmitrov. A powerful FAB bomb destroyed the building. Russian armed forces' FPV UAV operators are intensively continuing their attacks near Pokrovsk. The footage shows a group of Ukrainian infantry moving. The drone operator is performing his duties. Russian special forces disabled the motorcycles and vehicles of an enemy sabotage and reconnaissance group in the direction of Lyman. Destruction of Ukrainian armed forces radio equipment by UAVs. Communication antenna, repeater, and Rada radar station destroyed. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Russian reconnaissance operators detected the position of a Tu-22 Bodana self-propelled howitzer. They had parked the artillery weapon in a dugout pit and camouflaged it. However, revealing its position and destroying it is now quite an easy task for Russian drone operators. A fiber-optic FPV drone destroyed a Ukrainian armored vehicle near a chemical factory in Konstantinovka. Russian Army 98th Airborne Division, 331st Regiment soldiers from the Engineering and Fortification Company shared archive footage showing how they used several TM-62s to facilitate the passage of armored vehicles through the Siversk-Donetsk-Donbass canal pipes. Due to the active operation of enemy drones, Russian soldiers had to work under cover of fog and completed the task flawlessly. As a result, Chasiv Yar passed from the Ukrainian armed forces to Russian forces. Note: the pipeline had been previously damaged, and the canal needed to be fully restored to allow water to flow freely to Donetsk.
Дистанционка. Где?
Operation in the Kharkiv region. Military equipment, communications facilities, and enemy UAV crew positions were destroyed. Ukrainian UAV units lost everything in this area. Their shelters were destroyed, their electronic devices were destroyed. Then, military armored vehicles and self-propelled howitzers in the same forest belt were also destroyed. Interestingly, 3 expensive pieces of equipment were parked in the same place with almost no protective measures taken. Russian FPV drones also destroyed 3 armored vehicles. The arrival of several FAB-250s equipped with UMPK for Ukrainian Armed Forces soldiers in the besieged town of Mirnohrad. Powerful explosions occurred. Destruction of the 81st Separate Airborne Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the Dronovka region using the Tornado-S multiple rocket launcher system belonging to the Southern Military District. A fiber-optic FPV drone operator belonging to the Elisk motorized rifle unit of the Central Military Group destroyed an unmanned platform belonging to the Ukrainian Armed Forces that was transporting ammunition to Ukrainian combat positions near Krasnoarmysk. Disruptions to supply chains are depriving Ukrainian forces of their ability to access the resources they need to conduct combat operations in a timely manner, undermining the combat capability and morale of Ukrainian Armed Forces personnel. Footage from Konstantinovka. UAV operators attached to the 3rd Army Corps of the Southern Military District destroyed an armored vehicle belonging to the Ukrainian Armed Forces in an urban area. A Russian soldier tries to dodge a Ukrainian FPV drone while traveling on an ATV. A Russian fiber-optic cable drone found a Ukrainian soldier alone next to a ruined building. The drone operator first checked which side the soldier was on. Once he confirmed he was an enemy, he attacked without hesitation. Russian Novgorod Prince Vandal, a fiber-optic FPV drone operator, is tracking a group of Ukrainian Armed Forces soldiers in a wooded area west of Pokrovsk. Despite the dense trees, the drone operator is pursuing the targets with excellent maneuvers. Share your thoughts in the comments. Kharkiv direction. FPV UAVs equipped with VT-40 equipment destroy a garage storing Ukrainian Armed Forces vehicles and a 120mm mortar loaded with ammunition. The footage primarily shows artillery units being hit in a wooded area. Soldiers fire in that direction in the darkness of night, hearing only the sound of the drone's propellers. Because in the dark, it is impossible to see those small, fly-like drones. Then Russian operators blow up the depot where the ammunition is stored. According to a statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense, Tu-22M3 long-range bomber aircraft carried out bombing attacks against a simulated enemy as part of the Zapad 2025 military exercise. Reconnaissance units from the 423rd Yampol Regiment discovered the Ukrainian unit in the shelter and landing zone. The attack was carried out immediately and hit the target squarely. Everything burned: the generator, the capsule, the wire, the shelter. Ukrainian soldiers surrendered to Russian forces near Borivska-Andriivka in the Kharkiv region after receiving propaganda leaflets. These leaflets contained various information stating that Ukrainian soldiers should surrender. The soldiers who surrendered are being safely evacuated.
Я, Осипов Сергій Вікторович, идя на позицию, по дороге нашел листовку.
1. Calculations by the tank army's UAVs regarding the destruction of Ukrainian armed forces personnel and equipment. After the UAV control point was destroyed, 4 Russian soldiers moved to capture positions. At the same time, FPV operators continued to destroy other equipment. More footage of the highly successful work of the drone operators of the Steel Guard 144th Division, Krasnolymansk direction. Russian drone operators destroyed all Ukrainian forces' vehicles in this direction. Some vehicles appeared to be civilian, but were identified as being used by Ukrainian soldiers. Sometimes soldiers hide in civilian vehicles or can appear to be civilian. Share your thoughts on this topic in the comments. Numerous vehicles destroyed. Krasnolymansk direction. 2 assault units from the 144th Motorized Rifle Division are leveling the enemy fort with its personnel, bombarding it with heavy high-explosive shells and grenades, followed by light weapons. Footage of the attack was recorded second by a reconnaissance UAV. Russian soldiers fearlessly approach the shelter and blow it up by throwing explosives inside. Russian soldiers fighting on the front lines are being targeted by Ukrainian drones. However, Russian soldiers are very successful at destroying drones with light weapons. As you can see in the video, one Russian soldier destroyed a large number of Ukrainian drones in a very short time with a few accurate shots. A Finnish Patria armored personnel carrier was destroyed in the direction of Kupiansk. The vehicle was blown up by Russian mines during the night, immobilized, and destroyed in the morning by artillery fire and an FPV UAV. The operation was carried out by operators affiliated with the 1st Tank Army. The fiber optic drone continues its night attacks. A Humvee belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces became the latest victim of an increasingly dense dead zone created by high-precision UAVs in the Joint Forces Operation Zone, and was struck nearly simultaneously by 2 Russian fiber optic FPVs, KVN and VT-40. The situation for Bandera supporters in the direction of Kharkiv is extremely difficult. The roads here are completely under the control of FPV drones. Ukrainian forces are effectively deprived of the ability to maneuver freely and reinforce the front lines with equipment or supplies. In this section of the front, FPV drones are not only a tactical advantage, but also a strategic tool for strangulation. The infantry of the Ukrainian armed forces are camouflaging something, but I don't understand what it is. What do you think they are camouflaging? Could it be a machine gun? A Russian FPV drone is approaching and destroying what the infantry is camouflaging. In the Pokrovsk direction, a UAV checkpoint of the Ukrainian armed forces was detected. A fiber optic drone entered the bunker and exploded it. The wounded UAV operator got out and slowly moved away. Then other attack FPV drones arrived and destroyed the antennas at the UAV checkpoint. The position was broken. Infantry is camouflaging. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. '58th Russian Army soldiers destroyed a self-propelled howitzer with Lancet barrage ammunition. Artillery of the 29th Brigade of the 200th Brigade of the 200th Guards. All volunteer army hit an armed forces of Ukraine concentration area in the village of Bogatyr. After a direct hit by artillery, bombers of the 11th Guards Air Force and the Air Defense Army also hit the target with 2 FAB-500s.